it even doing anything? I don't think so. This retails for 800 rupees and you get so I don't really know what the hype is all about. Hey Linda, welcome back to my channel. I don't know if you guys know this, but E.L.F Cosmetics recently launched in India exclusively on Nykaa, and as soon as I found out, I had to get something from E.L.F. So I picked up a couple of items, but there's not a lot. I didn't pick up a lot of items because if I'm gonna be really honest, I was like super disappointed by this launch. This was one of those makeup launches that I was like really looking forward to, but the day it launched, I was like, what a waste. I feel like E.L.F could have done so much better in terms of launching so many of their makeup products. It is really worth it, but they launched products that wasn't really exciting. I mean, just for me. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't find them exciting. And don't even get me started about the prices. The prices are insane. E.L.F is one of those makeup brands that is supposed to be drugstore prices, really cheap, but something that offers high quality products, but somehow E.L.F in India is really expensive, and some of their eyeshadow palettes is legit for 2000 rupees, which I honestly don't understand, and their face masks and everything are also super expensive. I mean, I don't know what the deal with E.L.F Cosmetics India is, but yeah. Anywho, I was gonna film this video sooner, but when I ordered a couple of items from them, one of the eyeshadow palettes actually came in damaged. It was like shattered and beyond use and beyond being fixed. So I had to go through the entire process of raising a return, and then they had to verify and do all of that jazz. So that took a while, which is the reason why I'm filming this video super late. But I hope you guys find this video somehow helpful, and in case if you guys still haven't shopped anything from E.L.F, and if you guys want to know what's my take on a couple of the launches and also want to see how I achieved this look, then please continue watching. Okay, so like always, we're gonna start with my bare face because we've got a primer to try, and the primer that I'm gonna be trying today is this one. This is the E.L.F Poreless Putty Primer. I mean, when this launched, people went absolutely crazy over this primer. We compare it to very famous primer by Tatcha, which is super expensive, but this comes only at the fraction of the cost. I haven't tried the Tatcha one, so I can't really comment if it's a dupe or not, but we have this one, so let's try this one instead. Okay, so let's see what this primer claims. This perfecting putty primer smooths the skin and preps it with squalene to help moisturize and grip makeup for all day wear. The velvety texture glides over the skin, smoothing over imperfection for a poreless effect. So when I touch this primer and when I feel this primer, it definitely feels balmy and it definitely feels very moisturizing to the touch. It feels like a cream which is solidified. I hope that makes sense. And I find the texture very weird because when I think about pore filling primer or say like a velvety primer, I would suggest it to feel more like a velvet, something that's more on the thicker side, but this does not feel thick whatsoever. So right now I have a lot of imperfections on my face. My face is probably at its worst right now. The textures on my face is going crazy. I've been breaking out quite a lot and I've got quite a few clogged pores. Yeah, we shall see how this primer performs in help to achieve a more poreless look. So I'm gonna take a little bit first and I'm gonna try it. Primer definitely feels very moisturizing. I don't see a lot of pore filling action going on, which is something that this primer claims. So I'm just going to take this much and see how this works. I'm going to apply it mainly on the centers of my face because that's the area where I have a lot of open pores and a lot of texture. So also, this primer doesn't have any fragrance. Okay, so whatever's left on my fingers, I'm gonna apply it to the rest of my face. Okay, so I do notice a little bit of blurring effect, like it's not something major, like I can still see my pores and stuff, but it definitely helped to reduce the appearance of my pores. But I definitely feel really primed and prepped to put on some base makeup. So far so good. So now I'm gonna just quickly do my foundation off camera because I didn't pick up any foundation from E.L.F because I wasn't really feeling it. I mean, they only launched like one foundation which wasn't really speaking to me, and I didn't want to pick up stuff that I know that I'm not gonna like. I mean, I just tried to be a little smart. I just didn't really want to waste my money just for the heck of it and just for to make this video. I genuinely picked up the products that I felt like I might get a good use out of. Okay, that was a lot of talking, so let me just quickly do my foundation off camera and I'm gonna be right back. Foundation is on. I just applied a very light layer and now I'm gonna move on to concealer. And while I was doing my concealer, I was like, hold on a second, you have a concealer from E.L.F. So the concealer I'm gonna be using today is this one. This is their E.L.F Camo Concealer. I have used this in the past. I have spoken about this in the past as well, so I'm not really gonna sit here and blabber a lot about this. I would say that this is one of those concealers which is very tricky to work with, but once you get the hang of it, you will not stop using it. When I initially got this concealer, I didn't really like it because I felt like it was way too drying and it's way too heavy, which it is. So you just need like a little bit of it, and a little bit does goes a very long way with this concealer. The coverage is amazing. Whenever you're using this concealer, or if you're planning to buy this concealer, I would recommend moisturizing your under eyes really well, and also to work in sections because this dries really fast. So that's all I had to say about this concealer. So yeah, let me just quickly put this on my face. Okay, so the concealer is on. I'm just quickly gonna set my concealer and do the rest of my base off camera just to save a little bit time because I didn't pick up anything else related to base from E.L.F. So yeah, I'm gonna be right back. Okay, so my base is done. Let's move on to the eyes because I have quite a few products from the eye category and I am dying to use them on my eyes. For eyeshadow, I picked up 3 items. The first 2 items are from their bite-size eyeshadow collection. These are the eyeshadow quads and they come in multiple colors. So the one that I picked up were these 2. So this one is rose water. It has a lot of different pinky and mauvey tones. So the other one that I picked up is called Truffles. This is one of the eyeshadow palette that I knew that I had to get because it's got such a nice pretty neutral tone. Let's give you guys a swatch of this. So this one is the rose water palette. So there you go, that's the swatch for the rose water palette. So the next palette I have is called Truffles, and let me give you guys a swatch of this one as well. So the last product that I have here to show you guys is this liquid eyeshadow by E.L.F. This is their glitter eyeshadow and I have it in the shade Dirty Martini. I really like the color on this one. I do not see a lot of chunky glitters in it. I mean, this doesn't really wow me per se. So now when it comes to our eyeshadow, let's see which one should I use. I'm definitely gonna be using one of the palettes for sure. And for the glitter eyeshadow, let's see how we can incorporate this into our eye look. So I'm really confused between the two. So I am just gonna be using a mix of both and create a look somehow. First, I'm gonna be taking this shade from a rose water palette. It's a very light neutral mauve shade and I doubt that this will show up on my crease, I mean on me, but let's see. So it's definitely added a little bit of color. Can you see the difference? There was not a lot of kickback as well. Like I feel like this is not one of those shadows that has a lot of fallout. So I'm happy about that. Next, I'm going to be using the Truffles eyeshadow palette and I'm going to be using this muted brown shade from the palette. Okay, so just like the previous eyeshadow, even this eyeshadow didn't have a lot of kickback or fallout, which I really like. They give me a lot of pigment in like one go and it was very easy to blend as well. So I really like that about the matte shades, that they are very easy to blend. Okay, so now I'm gonna darken my outer corner a little bit, and for that I'm gonna be using the same Truffle eyeshadow palette, and this time I'm gonna be using the matte dark brown shade from the palette. Okay, so even the matte dark brown is performing really well. It is not skipping, it's very easy to blend. I mean, you guys saw me blend this eyeshadow out, and surprisingly it didn't really do anything funky, so I'm really liking that. I mean, wow, so far the mattes in both the palettes have been performing really well. Am I jinxing it for myself? I hope not. Okay, so next up I'm gonna be using the rose water palette, and now I'm gonna be using the darkest shade from the palette. It's a very dark brown, but it has a lot of gold and pink shimmers running through it. I'm gonna be using that just to intensify this eye look a little bit. So I'm focusing this eyeshadow mainly on the outer corner and just bringing very lightly onto the centers of my lid. I really like both the eyeshadow palette, you guys. It is stunning. I mean, wow, I am blown away. And how, like, these two eyeshadow palettes, amazing. Okay, so now for the main eyeshadow, I'm gonna be dipping into the Truffle eyeshadow palette again, and I'm gonna be taking this metallic taupey shadow from the palette. So the brush picked up nice amount of product. Okay, so I'm applying this eyeshadow only on the inner 1/3 portion of my eye. So this, the center part, I'm gonna be not applying any eyeshadow because I want to use that glitter eyeshadow. It applied well with the brush, and I've noticed that the shimmer shade definitely has a little bit of fallout. I'm just quickly gonna dust it off using my powder. Okay, so let's see how it performs with fingers. So I'm gonna use my finger now. Okay, fingers are where it at, you guys. I usually like to apply any kind of shimmer shadows with my fingers only, but I just wanted to see how it performs with a brush. I would suggest, if you want an impact, like you really want that pigment and that shine and that, you know, oomphness from the shimmer eyeshadow, use your fingers. The last item that I have to try on is this liquid glitter eyeshadow. So let's see how it goes. This might ruin my eye look completely, but I'm hoping that it doesn't. Doing anything? I don't think so. Just gonna be popping that onto the centers, and this time I'm gonna be using a brush. Okay, so this eyeshadow isn't really my favorite. I was expecting this to give me a lot of shininess and a lot of, like, you know, glitteriness, like what the name says. So before I say tata bye bye to you guys, let me just give you guys quick rundown on the things that I like and the things that I didn't like or would not really recommend. So the first thing that I'm going to be talking about are things that actually blew my mind and how, and it definitely has to be these two eyeshadow palettes. The bite-size eyeshadow palettes are stunning. They are worth every penny. They're not even that expensive. They retail only for 400 rupees, and the quality that you get in these eyeshadow quad is amazing. The pigmentation is stunning. The mattes as well as the shimmer, they both perform beautifully. So in case if you are gonna pick up only one product from E.L.F cosmetics, I would highly suggest getting the bite-size eyeshadow. So the next product from E.L.F that I would recommend you guys is this concealer, the E.L.F Camo Concealer. I have spoken about it in the past as well. It has been in one of my monthly favorites as well. So yeah, it speaks for itself. I wouldn't recommend this concealer to people with dry skin because it's more on the heavier side and it's more on the drying side. If you are someone who's got like extremely dry skin, stay away from this concealer. I'm sure you can find a better option out there in the market. But for someone who's looking for a really long lasting matte and a heavy duty concealer. Look no further, this is the concealer that you need to go for. So second pick would definitely be the concealer. Okay, so the next product, I'm like so I wouldn't say that I hated it, but I wouldn't even say that I loved it. The product that I'm talking about is this E.L.F Putty Primer. Don't get me wrong, this definitely made my makeup go on really smoothly. It also blurred out my pores a little bit, but I wouldn't say it did anything magical. Like, I wasn't like, oh, pores, what pores? So I don't really know what the hype is all about. Speaking of this primer, I definitely do not feel that this is worth 1100. In case if you are someone who's got like extremely smooth canvas to begin with, and if you just want a primer that will, you know, moisturize your skin really well, plus also give you like a very nice base to work with, then you can definitely give this a try. But I would recommend getting it on a discounted price and not paying 1100 for this. So the last product that I would definitely not recommend you guys, and I would suggest you guys saving your money, is this glitter eyeshadow. This was such a disappointment, you guys. Not something that you need in your life. I feel like you can find a better glitter eyeshadow in the market which is cheaper as well. This is not cheap by any means. This retails for 800 rupees and you get this bad boy. It's like it is super tiny. If you are looking for a nice glitter liquid eyeshadow, I would recommend the Nika K ones over these. Yeah, I would not recommend this one. Stay away from this. So yeah, that is it for today's video, you guys. I'm so sorry this video is super late, but better late than never, you know. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and in case if you did, then you guys know the drill. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and also click the bell notification to be notified every time I post a video. In case if you guys have made till the end of this video, thank you so much for watching my video and also supporting my channel. It really means the world to me. And yeah, with that, you guys, I'm gonna take a leave and I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. Bye, Linda. Mwah.